starting the recording, and whoever would like to recap us, I encourage you to do so.
I can do it. I've been trying to get better with my notes, so I have some pretty thorough notes from last session.
Sweet.
All right, so we started the session basically recovering from the fight that we had with the invisible stalker and the what is it? The displacer beasts. So we sort of discussed why it may have happened. A few theories came up. Specifically, Jara was asking about what we had been doing in in Turia, and it came to Felix's mind that the only loose end that he could really think of is Tyron Capardi, who was the instructor of the prince who fled in the middle of the last battle there. So maybe he sent it after us. Could be something entirely different. Other things that were discussed were the nomads, as well as perhaps maybe someone from Elderfield, because we did kind of stir up a little bit of trouble there. Although I doubt it, because they seemed pretty not. They didn't seem very like I don't know, well off and powerful, I guess, as a town. So we set out on the road to Answood, and we first passed a mysterious looking cart from the Karsten Trading Company, and it was pulled by a homunculus on a horse, I believe. There was also like an older man, I believe, in the back of the cart, but he was sort of hidden. And we tried to talk to them, but the homunculus got pretty threatening, so we decided it was probably best to leave them alone. We also came across some people who were kind of like ravenously hunting for mushrooms, and they seemed to be protected by the Shade Watch, so that gave us a little bit more context as to like what the Shade Watch really does. It seems that one of their priorities is protecting the people who find the valuable shade shrooms, which are used, as we found, in cocktails, as well as, I'm assuming, other things. They are rare, expensive, and powerful, and they do many things. Yes. And then Iris also used her message cantrip to spam Primordial at one of the people digging.
Classic.
That was that. Yeah, classic Iris. Won't be the last time she does it this session. We arrived at Answood in the evening, and we saw some of the monuments. There was specifically a monument to Erithus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Arathis, Arathi, whatever.
Arathis. It was a statue with scales, represent order and chaos. We decided to stay at the Hearthflame Inn, which is this central building here, with lots of shops and stuff surrounding it. We were greeted by Jametti, who is the innkeeper, I suppose, or at least the front desk person. Oh no, sorry, Julia is the innkeeper, but we were greeted by Jametti. And we got 2 rooms. Iris headed out to the market, and the rest of the party tried to find some dinner. We got dinner at the bar from Clyde, who actually is from the same town that Felix has spent some time in, and went to the same school for bartending. So there's a potential connection. He tells us a little bit about the town because we don't really know, because we're just asking him about like the goings on. Specifically, Jara is interested, I believe. He tells us there's some stuff going down with the Shade Watch at the Temple of Reverie. It seems to be over money, and he also tells us that the Shade Watch started as a group of mercenaries who primarily guarded the Shade Shroom hunters, but they have slowly grown into something more as the supply of Shade Shrooms has depleted. They seem to have beef with the Luminous, he told us. And he also told us that our contacts, we disclosed to him that we were supposed to meet someone named Meryl here, that Meryl is an eccentric character, and that many people try to get meetings with her to little success. And he recommends being pretty discreet about who we tell that we are meeting her. Clyde seems pretty chill. In the market, Iris talks to a furbolg named Theobald.
With an F.
Yep. Who works at Gilmore's Glorious Goods. She buys an ever bright torch and leaves behind a rope of climbing that she says she might be back for. She then primordial spams 2 more shopkeepers.
Classic. Another classic move.
Yep, and then returns to the party at the bar. Um, so then we enjoy some slow motion shroom shots, which we later found out were called shade shroom. This is such a tongue twister. Shade shroom shots. There we
Mm-hmm.
go. Not Felix. Iris also takes her mind melting mushrooms, which she got earlier. Um, I also, for some reason, wrote down, you mentioned it, and I thought it might be important. So I wrote it down that the bard who was playing at the bar is called Steel High Mountain. So that's just something to keep in mind. Uh, and also, something notable about the Hearth Flame Inn is that every room has a view, because they map the visual of the outside to the windows on the interior. So that's just a nice touch. And session ended in weird form with a dream. So everyone goes to bed for the night, and Iris, on her mind melting mushrooms, has a strange dream. She is in the clouds trying to open a door. She tries to tinker with the knob on the door and notices there's no keyhole, and therefore no place to put a lockpick. So she has the instinct to utter a phrase that opens the door to a laboratory, and a humanoid with purple skin greets her. Iris also is a fleshy humanoid with purple skin, and the person in the room calls her Elira. He hands her armor that she puts on, specifically a gauntlet, and she feels a pinch and then jolts awake. And when she wakes, she finds that a real fleshy purple hand with 4 fingers has grown into her armor, and she investigates this a little bit with Felix. And I believe that was where we left off.
Perfect. That is a very comprehensive recap. I don't think you missed anything.
That's pretty much everything.
So
Okay.
well earned D4. So congratulations. The only thing from a bookkeeping perspective, you all still have 5 extra feet of movement for the next until the end of your next long rest. So
Right.
make a mental note, but that was from the Shade Shroom shot. So use that as you see fit. You're a little bit more nimble and quick today. But I believe we ended session just when the morning kind of rolled through. You guys woke up, some a little earlier than others, some forcefully. And we'll pick up from there. I will invite anyone who has the courage to roll another weather table roll. It is now Friday morning.
Which die?
That is a D8 die.
Hit us with it.
1.
Ooh.
Okay. You all wake to the sound. Let's see if I have it here.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Death Inferno. It is raining very hard, pouring. Sheets of rain are thrusted against the windows. You can hear and see them coming through. You hear the rain drip from the gutters. It is a very violent, stormy morning. Not quite thundering, although you do hear some distant like rumbles, but no lightning or anything. Just a very rainy morning. As you all jolt awake, not jolt awake, hopefully, but wake from your slumber. Day is yours.
As I'm getting up, I'm like stretching. I'm like, you know what, Therathor? I feel like I'm like extra nimble today. I'm feeling good. I don't know what we had last night, but I don't know. I'm feeling like quick on my feet. You know.
I feel the same way, and I jump onto the bed.
Yeah, just a half a step quicker.
My reaction time. I'm like doing some ninja moves, like. Well, I guess we should probably go find Felix and Iris, see how they're doing.
You're
So
across the hall, is it right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep, that is correct.
as we wake up, I don't know if we would have gone back to bed. What do you think, Iris?
Iris would have gone back into just sort of inactivity mode, but like She's still relatively conscious the
Yeah,
entire time.
Before that, I guess before she goes into sleep mode. Aris, how do you want to handle this? I'll respect whatever decision you make. Do you want to tell everyone about what happened, or?
It's probably best if they know.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how are you feeling about the whole thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it helps me figure out what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
good.
not expecting to suddenly have organic parts.
Well, we will have to see what else transpires. This feels like only the beginning of whatever this is.
Iris would kind of like spend a good maybe 30 minutes like reopening her left side armor and just poking flesh.
Yeah. What's really weird to you, Iris, when you have a dream or like, something like that happens, typically it's pretty it's not very persistent in your memory in terms of like it kind of comes and goes very quickly. This acts more as though you've just remembered something. It's present in your memory storage part of your, no pun intended, your brain, but not something that's dreamlike, where it kind of comes and goes.
Maybe we should buy more of those mushrooms.
Iris becomes a drug addict.
Where'd you get them? Phoebe's, right?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they'd probably have more around here. This is some mushroom city.
We can go digging around afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested to see what the local potion shop has in store as well. So I would be definitely down to come with you.
We'll put it on the list of things to do.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You pass by a shop.
Oh, there. Sorry, I didn't see you there. You opened the door so quietly.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think we did, but we did pass by all those shops just outside. There's probably something around there at least, if not a full-fledged building.
There's a tent that sells magical items if we're interested.
Well, I think one of our first priorities should be to meet with our client contact. That's here.
Yeah.
I actually have something to show you all.
Is there like another compartment you found that does something cool? Do you have like extra storage space like in your butt cheeks now?
I guess you could say that. And Iris will just hold her left arm up and let the metallics fade away to a fleshy alien arm. This was not here before.
You telling me you just like grew an arm?
Yes.
Can I touch it?
You may.
Jara wants to check if there's a pulse.
Ooh.
On the wrist?
Smart.
Yeah, on the wrist.
Make a medicine check.
Okay. All
Iris,
right.
what is a pulse?
Iris has
not
connected to
great.
AWS.
I got a 6.
A 6. Given the construct that Iris is, the foreign skin tone, as well, not many things humanoids are purple, in skin tone. It's just a foreign body. If there is a pulse, you can't find where it is, and you're not really sure if there's a pulse needed. You don't really know. It's a mystery.
I don't think I've seen an appendage like this before. Shit, you got what, like 4 fingers there? Not even 5?
4.
Is it connected to anything?
Iris is going to attempt to pull back the rest of the upper arm.
Yeah, so it
See if this-
stops at the elbow. From the elbow up to the end of the elbow to the end of the fingertips is entire flesh. Stops.
And
at the
everything
elbow.
else is porcelain doll, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Can you like remove your arms? Like what happened? Is that thing? Well, first let me start by. Could you remove your arms in the past?
I was able to remove my hand before, and she'll remove the hand that is her all-purpose tool.
Yeah, comes off.
Can you remove that hand, or is it like stuck now?
I don't know. My left hand was never removable in the first place.
Be careful. I don't know if it has nerves or anything, but this could be more pain than you're used to. Just be
Well,
gentle.
yeah, I don't. I wouldn't recommend yanking on it if it wasn't like detachable before.
I will keep that in mind.
When you like go stasis, does it get like all tingly like that? We would call that like your limbs falling asleep.
I don't know. She kind of like takes a moment to like re-armor it over, and when it does, it goes from like a 4-fingered alien appendage to 5 fingers metallic.
Yeah.
When did that like just happen last night?
Yes.
But do you know what caused it?
Well, I had a dream. There was someone else, a humanoid, with purple skin like this, and a very elongated head, and 4 fingers. They told me that they had been working on something, and handed me a gauntlet to try. They called me Alamba.
Do you you think you could maybe sketch what this person looked like? Maybe we can like look in some history books or something, see if we can find a record of a person that looks this way in the past.
Iris is going to use an action and channel the all-purpose tool to replicate the minor illusion cantrip, and she's going to cast minor illusion to replicate the image of the other weird creature. So
Sure. Yeah. Make up
that. Go ahead.
Make make an intelligence check.
Okay, just straight intelligence. Oh, that's a 7. Oof.
Okay. Again, new to this whole idea of having these very ingrained memories, it's still not to the forefront to where you can exactly picture. So what you guys see before you is a kind of a literally like a blurry rendition of a very tall figure, nearly standing 8 feet tall, elongated features, kind of very dramatic. Yeah, just elongated appendages, torso, neck, head, even, and while the face is kind of featureless due to its blurriness, there it looks like a resemblance of some sort of cloth of protection, probably when experimenting, like a heavy kind of robe,
Like an apron or something.
Apron, yeah, around a pretty heavy duty tunic. But what catches your attention are the 4 fingers and the purple skin. Otherwise, pretty expressionless and featureless.
Are you one of those?
I don't know. Maybe.
And what is it?
I don't know.
Well, you said you dreamed, right? Have you had dreams before?
Not really.
Do you know what might have caused you to have this dream?
There were some mushrooms I consumed last night.
So you got high shit and had like a trip and then grew an arm?
Is that what that sensation is called?
Inner body experience, because she's grown an appendage.
Jared, would I be able to make a history check to see if I know anything about this form that Iris has conjured?
Yeah. Try.
I also have an ability as a gnome called Artificer's Lore.
Okay.
Which gives me double my proficiency on a history check related to a magic item, alchemical object, or a technological device. Does Iris count as a technological device?
If you're trying to reason about Iris's like history,
It'd be like Iris's origins, yeah.
I believe there was a check for that initially. You can roll. I'll say you can get the proficiency advantage here, but it's going to be a very hard roll, regardless.
Okay. Gotcha. Let's try it. Okay, not great. But it's still high because I have high intelligence. Alright, so it's a 19. It was a
Okay.
nat 8, but a 19.
Wow, that's great.
Hold on.
So, nothing in your experience, in your training, formal and informal, your time in an exotic place like Karth, would place a construct like Iris at a specific location or time that you can recall. However, you have seen some of the upper crust, like the really, really rich people, have very, very greatly simplified versions of what Iris is. In essence, a mechanical construction that is somewhat autonomous. Without going into the sentience debate here, a lot of times these constructs were butlers and like servants that did very specific pointed tasks and in no way could express thoughts the way that Iris could or can currently. And if you're ascertaining anything about this purple humanoid, that's like, if there's any documentation on it, you wouldn't know necessarily, but that sounds maybe like something fitting the description of a really early first one, right? But
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is this looks like sort of like how I've heard the first ones described, but I'm not really sure. It's all fuzzy. I wasn't the best student at school. I didn't pay the most attention in history class. So
Furry's first one sound recognizable to me at all.
nope.
What
I mean,
is
you know what
that?
first and one means, but that's it.
let me look over at the map. Iris, have you ever heard of the Vesper Forest?
I don't think so.
You can make a history check, Iris.
History.
I'll give you advantage.
Good, I'm gonna need it. Oh, go lovely. 4 or a natural 1. We're doing great tonight. That's a 9.
Vesper Forest, no. Maybe if Felix described a little bit about the history behind it, perhaps, but the name Vesper Forest literally doesn't mean anything to
Is
you.
there something special about it?
It's I think if I'm remembering correctly, again, not the best student, but I think it was home to the first creatures that inhabited this land when it was created. There's said to be a lot of history there. In fact, when we were in Turia, part of our mission was recovering relics from, I think, the Vesper Forest that were related to the first ones. So they're sort of a historical phenomenon, but they're from a very long time ago. I don't think anyone has seen a first one
How
in
long ago?
thousands of years.
It predates written history, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the last time I remember being awake.
Maybe there's some relation there.
Well, if you were asleep, I don't know if you know how much time would pass, but I mean, I don't know how durable are you? I mean, thousands of years. I mean, I can't imagine being stuck in the ground that long and corrosion or something not happening.
She just sort of like gestures to her general self.
You're
I
pristine.
think I'm relatively durable.
Well, maybe we can look into it then. Might be.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any literature on the first ones. Any pictures. I doubt it, but who knows?
Well, maybe there'll be like some cave drawings or something.
Yeah, perhaps.
Well, I mean, if they're as advanced as Iris was, then I don't know. You'd think there'd be more, like a trace, more of them. But I guess there was the Great Reckoning that happened, so I don't know. Maybe not.
The what?
Well, it's like just like a cataclysmic event that happened.
Oh.
It's a good thing you slept through it.
Yeah, I would think you would want to be asleep for that time. I don't think it was very pleasant from what I heard about it.
Oh, okay. Well, until we find out more, and she's gonna wrap her arm back up in the metallic armor. I don't know if I should be advertising that.
Yeah, I think we leave you as a robot for now.
Yeah.
Or what?
Oh,
I
what?
mean, automaton, robot.
That's
Isn't that what we coined? We called it a
Yes,
robot.
its canon
Dude,
is Robot.
This is the past, though, right? This is before the first campaign.
What? Where you coined
This
Robot?
like campaign 2. I mean, like
Campaign 2 is prior to Campaign 1.
yeah, exactly. So
Well, that doesn't make sense.
so robot doesn't exist yet.
Yep, yeah. Robot doesn't exist. That's true. It's not canon yet.
All right. Well, I guess we should start the day. I know we have to meet Meryl today. Anything else that we wanted to do?
Well, yeah, I think we go see Meryl, and then I think you guys probably want to do some shopping. I think I want to try to do some information gathering.
And we'll see what Meryl has to say. Maybe she has something for us to do as well.
Right, yeah.
That sounds
so
good with me.
Yeah, I think we get some breakfast, and then we just walk on over to the Shade Spire, I guess.
All right.
All right. All of you gather your things that you need for the day, making sure to take out your raincoats, and you head downstairs to the restaurant, which has been cleaned. Looks immaculate right now. In fact, most of the dining hall is not available for sitting. The chairs are kind of atop the tabletops, and there's no silverware out. But there is a small kind of buffet style set of tables in the front of the restaurant or the dining hall, excuse me, where you can see some people have. It's early, by the way. You guys would have awoken probably prior to 8 a.m., especially Felix and Iris. But regardless, you see this buffet style and help yourself. Usual staples.
Yep. Felix grabs a plate, starts digging in.
Right. I think I'm gonna sneeze here in a sec.
Wait,
Oh, there we go.
would you call this buffet continental by chance? Is this a continental buffet?
It's on a continent.
I guess that's fair.
Every breakfast you've ever eaten is continental. By that measure.
I just want to make sure I was having a continental breakfast with my stay at the inn.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any servers either. It's basically just help yourself. Occasionally, people will come by and check on the food, but they're kind of in these sternos and just, pastries.
While we're down there, I'd like to look around to see if there's any signage, as far as like what time, specifically like the bar is open, like from and to.
Sure. In fact, you could probably find a dinner menu rather quickly. But so the early bird special starts at like 3 in the afternoon most days. The bar opens at that time, but you gather there's probably prep work that needs to go in. So if you're looking for someone specifically working at the bar, they might be there earlier.
And is there a closing time, or is it like flexible?
It says 12, but you are up past 12 midnight the night before.
Okay.
So maybe they stopped letting people in.
Gotcha.
Barathar would like to look for anything resembling mushrooms.
Like at breakfast, you're saying?
Yes.
No mushrooms at breakfast, actually. I thought about it a lot, but not directly, at least. You don't know if they're in any of the sauces, but there's no mushrooms.
Barathar is going to start checking the sauces.
Okay. So you like walk over
tasting
and then
them.
Yeah, just kind of spoon. Yeah. There's some earthy notes to some of the sauces. Like, for example, if you like kind of want beans with your breakfast, you can get beans and have. Maybe there's mushrooms in there. Maybe not. There's no chunks. It's pretty. It's a sauce, not necessarily chunky.
Okay, well, Thor is gonna have some of that.
Okay, sounds good. Make me a con save. No, I'm kidding. Imagine if
Thor
they're
having
just
like
shoveling
just
that in continental
just
breakfast.
sauce, or is like the sauce going
A
on something?
spoon.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's doing some other stuff.
Okay, okay.
Whatever would make sense to go with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. If you don't want to discuss anything further, we can kind of just blow through breakfast, and if you want
I
to
got
get any
something.
more, sure, go ahead.
Because while we're eating, this is Jar's gonna say. So I've been thinking about kind of the things that we've been hearing as we've been going from town to town, and I can't help but notice that like the Luminous are kind of involved in both. What do y'all know about the Luminous? I'm still kind of new to the area.
Not
Um,
much.
yeah, I mean, in Turia, it seemed like they were under direct control of the king, or I guess no, not the king, the Synod. Yeah, because the king was sort of like a puppet. So they obeyed the Synod. I assume the Synod's power extends beyond Turia, to all of Tura. But from what I've heard, I think that power wanes the further you get from it. We're still relatively close, so
Right. I'm just wondering. It seems like uh, they keep causing some trouble, or at least they surround it. Like when uh, we were back at what's the place? Elderfield, like that they were like keeping that house off of limits, and the Luminous soldiers were all over there claiming like that bishop never like lived there when like we had heard from other people that they had, and then now they're like causing trouble with the mushroom people down here. I don't know. I'm wondering if like there's some connection there, or if something weird's
yeah.
going on.
Well, if something weird happened with the bishop in Elderfield, I imagine that would reflect poorly on the Synod, so they'd probably want to keep that under wraps. As far as the mushrooms, I don't know. From what we've heard, it seems like the Shade Watch are the sketchier crew, but that might
Yeah,
be just bias from whoever we've heard it from.
that's possible. I would like to like see if we can figure that out too. I might go ask into the temple referee and just kind of see what's good and see if I can't learn some more.
Yeah, let us know.
All right, that's all Jar wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Iris, would you try saying something for me?
Okay.
Shop for shade shrooms by the Shade Spire.
Shop for shade shrooms by the Shade Spire.
Okay, very good. 3 more times.
Shop Those would sound very similar.
Right? Yep.
Shop for shade shrooms by the Shade Spire. Shop for shade shrooms.
Ah, well done. Commendable.
Tom, you
Iris, you did the best you could.
Tom, take a D4 for that one. My hat's off to you. All right. If there's anything else,
I'm
Last-
good.
okay. You finish up your breakfast, trying to get that alliteration trivia puzzle down. Not trivia, but in terms of the clientele, people just seem general and general common folk. No real upper class or no party of people who are fighting each other through walls. But you exit the Hearthflame Inn about 8:30 and to the, not monsoon, obviously, but heavy torrential downpour that has taken the morning by force here.
So Therathari is wearing his archive cloak very tightly around him. Pulls the hood up.
Very nice.
Got to
And-
represent.
You are heading to the Shade Spire, correct? Or do you want to make
Yep.
any stops on the way? All right.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. You can see it, despite the level of rain, standing proud in the center of Answood. The tall Shade Spire. You walk directly across. You can see in the market as you leave the Hearthflame Inn all of the people who are the merchants, obviously prepare for this kind of thing. They have their canopies drawn and are staying out of the rain as best they can. But the foot traffic is died down significantly. Obviously, no one wants to be out in the rain shopping. They don't have to. But you can see the main street here going straight through Answood, which you're walking to, is still fairly busy. Carts, horses, all manner of people are out. Looks like working people mostly. Some Luminous are kind of in squadrons patrolling, especially around the Shadespire and the gardens. But you pass the center, the true center of Answood, which is marked by a statue of, again, Arathis. But you also see on the sides of the, like, there's stonework around the fountain. It's kind of like, you ever been to, like, or seen where you can be in 4 states at once? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They have that, like, tile. There's, like, a commemorative tile where, like, this is the first stone that was placed in Answood. It's a nice little shrine of some kind, monument. But there are also little fish swimming in the pond. They look like some sort of like large goldfish or koi, maybe. Nevertheless, you make your way further towards the Shadespire, which you can see. If you would all make perception checks for me.
Dice, don't fail me now.
14.
Natural 20.
There it is.
There it is.
What did you say?
11.
Perception?
Perception, yeah.
9. Oops.
Okay. And then Tom, what'd you get? Did you roll?
11.
11. Okay. All of you, for the most part, notice that on the left side of the Shadespire, from where you're standing, sort of at the middle section, so like kind of here-ish, where my cursor is, there is a large chunk of the tower that is blown out, as in like void of stonework. It looks like a regular-sized hole, roughly looks like a blast radius of some kind, and there are deep, dark scorch marks on the remaining stone that kind of sit there. The tower structurally looks fine otherwise, but this portion specifically looks like it suffered some sort of explosion. And with your natural 20, Iris, you notice the explosion site as well, or let me back up. You notice that the actual exterior of the Shadespire is completely featureless in that there are no windows, there are no exits or entrances. It is a solid building. And instead, the sort of silhouette of shadow of like depth and like glass is painted on kind of illusion of some kind. And you can see it broken in the areas surrounding the blast radius. Yeah. The base of the Shadespire is this very old, similarly styled brick. Looks similar to the brick that was in the monument, kind of commemorating the first stones. This is an old building. And you can see over the years, it probably served as like a church or a temple, then probably a town hall. And now it largely is completely vacant. You can see the front and all of the sides are pretty dilapidated. These do have features. There's a door and windows. But they're, for the most part, really run down. Vines and like mold are growing on it. The front door is kind of like off the hinges slightly. Just not very well kept. You can, as you get closer, you can even see just collections of dirt and all sorts of things that blow are at the base of the stairs. For the most part, it looks like whatever this isn't used, first of all, and might not be the way in to the Shadespire. You're not sure. But nevertheless, you make your traversal of the steps, and you are now at the front doors. What would you like to do?
This is weird. Our contact lives here? Is that what Clyde told us?
I think that's what he said.
Do we knock?
I can mage hand knock.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna mage hand knock on the door.
Okay. You give it and as like the second bang of the knuckle, the door kind of swings open inside a little bit, and you can see a completely dark interior. You can hear water dropping, probably from holes in the ceiling that haven't been patched. peering in if you'd like Jar to make perception check. Another one.
Sure. If I cast light, will that give me advantage?
Sure. But yeah, go ahead.
Take
How
that.
dark is it in here again?
14.
14? Sure. So the area for the most part inside, well, Irish, you wouldn't know this yet, but so with a 14 and casting light, you can see the chamber illuminated, and as soon as the light kind of emanates through the door, you see immediately and hear flapping of wings as like 3 bats fly out the front door as you all duck instinctually, and it just flies off into the distance. Looking in, a lot of the windows are boarded up from the inside, or like have debris that have fallen on and covered most of them. The inside looks like broken church pews, like completely destroyed in some places. A place for probably where confessions are that looks like it's equally as kind of in shambles. And then you see at the very front, kind of where the base of the spire would be, like meets the building itself. You can see the beginning of what probably was once a stage of some kind or platform where they used to do sermons and whatever. But it has been like in the center of it, there is like solid stone that makes up the cylinder that is the spire. It's very strange.
Well, I guess Shade Spire comes from the fact that they ain't got no light on inside. Seems like a very appropriate name.
Iris is going to go and retrieve the magical torch she purchased and turn it on.
The entire interior is shrouded
Yeah.
in white light.
That certainly helps.
Hopefully.
Look at that. You're already getting your money's worth.
You can see,
That's 6 year foot radius of light. God damn.
yeah. You can see that there are like drawings on the ceilings and the walls, like decorations that were probably once very beautiful and pristine that have weathered and just dimmed with age. They're
Well-
mostly drawings of like holy sites, like are holy in the lore of the world, like religious events, specifically surrounding Arathis.
I guess we should just go inside, right?
Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
At least get out of the rain, right?
You walk in, shut the door behind you, kind of hangs a little bit on the hinges. It's not completely sound. Looking in here, yeah, with the light, you see what I described, high-rising ceilings. And every so often as you step in, it's a big echo, and you hear the occasional scurrying of like small rodents hiding through the shadows, like keeping to the walls.
Hello.
Oh. Echoes. No answers. Just your own voice echoing.
Are there any other rooms like adjoining this one, or is it pretty much just like the church and then the spire up?
So what you see, so if you kind of zoom in a little bit, so you walked in through this entrance on the left. Going
Right.
in, that's what I described with the pews. There's this central platform that kind of sits at the middle of this T intersection, and you can see on the right side is another entrance. Like if you walked up that, similar like with church rows. And then sitting at the very center of all of this, like jutting literally into the floor, is this cylindrical tower structure.
Is there
Yeah,
like a
I-
door onto that?
It
looks
is
like
completely featureless.
Well, I gotta imagine it's gotta be some with that spire there, right?
maybe it's like when we were in Turi, I remember there was this warehouse where like if we pressed a specific brick, the wall opened up. So maybe we should look for something like that.
Alright. Can I investigate the spire?
Sure.
Yeah, I would also like to.
All right, so you can either roll with advantage, one of you, or you both roll and I'll take highest.
I already rolled, so do you want to roll or do you want to do advantage?
Yeah, roll again. Go for it.
Okay.
You're the investigator.
Oh, that's a lot better. Thank you. My first one was a 6. This one is a 22. So
Nice. As you go towards the spire that's jutting into this building now, you can see as you go to touch, there's like a force barrier that's preventing you from touching the actual stones.
Well, there seems to be some sort of like force barrier that's preventing any interaction with this middle spire here.
If we have some time, I could cast Detect Magic. I guess we have nothing but time, right? I- I guess I'll just start doing that while
Yeah.
you guys try
Okay,
to
as
figure out
ritual. cast
any
or something?
other entrance mechanism. Yeah,
What
as
about-
a
What about that like other platform? Can I go look at that middle platform right here?
That's so the middle of this building where it joins in this T intersection. That is where
Right.
the middle platform is, as though someone who was speaking could speak to both sides.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
is the part that has this giant cylinder built
What
into it.
about this front little nub of a cylinder?
Inspecting in there, that looks like it has a church bell, a spiral staircase that goes up. You can go up the whole way without much issue, although you have to be a little careful to not step on anything that's going to fall through. It's completely empty, though. Occasionally, you'll hear a rodent scurrying.
All right, I'm gonna be going up there looking, figuring that out while he's doing his
Okay.
detect magic, and then
About,
yeah, I'm assuming I'll probably come back down by the time he's done. I'll be like, well, nothing but the church bell up there.
So about 8 minutes into your 10-minute ritual cast, Jara comes back, and you are sitting on the floor of this whatever church that used to be here, this vacant building now. As you're sitting there with your ritual, drawing out your runic symbols and kind of channeling the divine energy, you are interrupted as a piece of the Shade Spire that sits on top of this platform juts into this building. Like, from an infinitely small point, opens a door at the base, and it kind of like comes out, like sweeps up and down as a door forms at the base of the spire. And it kind of swings open in the chamber.
Well, Felix, I don't know what you did, but it looks like you did it.
I don't know what I did either, but looks like we can go in. So let's go.
All right, you go to take a step towards the door, and it opens into the chamber that you're in. And you see standing before you about a 5'5", balding, old man. Looks like he has whatever left of his hair is kind of combed over the top. For what it's worth, he's dressed rather nice, not like a tuxedo or anything, but nice formal clothes. He stands proper as he opens the door. He says, "Good morning. Do you have business with the lady this afternoon or this morning?"
Jara's gonna nudge Sterathari and be like, I think this is you.
Yeah.
We do. Archive business.
"And what are your names?"
I'm Therathari. This is Felix, Jara, and Iris.
"And the archive, who sent you?"
The High Scepter.
"This checks out. Follow me." You can tell he's kind of like cataloging, like essentially validating and verifying you are who you say you are. It looks like there's very much an not only a moment of realization, but expectation of your arrival. You enter into this door, and as you all enter into the center chamber, the door closes behind you all and vanishes back. And what you see before you, strangely enough, is a very spacious interior, not confined by the circular chamber that you would expect this to be. It is a very open, kind of rectangular area. And you can see it's sort of like a waiting room, a pretty nice waiting room. There's a center coffee table with a nice rug underneath. There's some couches. There's a table for tea and coffee. And then there's this large, on the right side of this room, large staircase that kind of goes off. Looking up, you don't see anything but a ceiling. And he says to you as you enter in, and actually, you do not hear any rain. He says, "Please, have a seat. The lady will be down in just a minute. Help yourself to tea, biscuits, coffee. She'll be with you shortly."
As Jar goes to take a seat, he goes, "Man, these archive folk really love like their pocket dimensions and messing with like temporal space magic. They just love that shit."
And tea. They
Well,
love their tea.
I think all sophisticated folks love tea, Felix. And Jar takes a sip with his pinky out.
Is that customary when drinking tea?
Only if you're of a respectable kind of person.
Oh,
Iris, do you have pinkies? I don't remember seeing one last night.
I was kind of like, my
I
armor
think when
does.
your robot hands got pinkies, or robot
My
hand
what?
got pinkies.
The mechanical hand does, and she kind of like gestures with it for a bit.
You got one. All right.
Yeah, I think you just gotta drink with whatever hand has the fifth finger, and I think that'll have you covered.
As you guys go to like pour your beverages and eat your snacks, if you choose to have any of the pastries there, you notice two things. One, as soon as you pick up a pastry, another one takes its place. Two, when you go to pour the tea or the coffee, it kind of it comes out different for all of you, as though whatever kind of tea you were expecting is what comes out of the spout.
What kind of pastries are there?
Literally any kind you can think of.
All right,
And I mean that literally.
Jara wants like some hard like tack shortbread cookie that lasts a while. He wants that to be there, and then he goes, "Hey Iris, open your chest real quick," and he starts like shoving those like tack cookies. Like, we'll save these for later. It's a good travel snack.
Is there
Iris,
rings in there?
you get to Iris out of curiosity. She's already like picked up
Breadsticks in
like,
there.
like a lemon tart, put it in her chest. Picked up another lemon tart, put it in her chest.
Save these for later. They save really well, and they're really delicious travel snacks. Had them all the time growing up on the farm.
Okay.
We don't need to buy any rations here.
Just reach into the storage pantry that is Iris. Grab
Yeah.
a snack.
And we've got I'll hold up my bottle of holding. We've got all this ale as well. If you don't remember, we stole it from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your thing. Well, your thing. It's like whatever liquid's in there, it like replicates indefinitely, right?
No, it just has. It's like basically a huge
It's just like a
container,
percent.
but just in a very small vial.
Nice.
You notice that when this butler-esque individual said the lady would be with you, he walked up the stairs, and as he did, when he got to like the second or third from the top, he kind of just vanished.
They got some illusion magic going on here too, it would seem.
Yeah, this is spooky.
Definitely some high magics at work.
As you're all eating, sprawled out on these various sofas, which, by the way, are very comfortable. Very comfortable. Certain, let's call it 5-10 minutes passes as you're kind of shooting the shit and just enjoying the weirdness that is whatever this is.
Shoving
Or is about
pastries
to-
into Iris'
Yeah,
chest.
Iris is stock full of lemon tarts and God knows what. A cat kind of comes down the stairs and kind of jumps on the table. The tabby cat, and just kind of sits, looks at you all on the table, and just meow.
I don't think Iris would remember seeing a cat before. She is incredibly curious. she is stopped with the lemon tarts and is immediately approaching the creature.
As you say that, as soon as the creature looks at you, the cat, it kind of turns its head and meow,
Hello.
stares at Iris.
Iris is
Kinda-
just staring back.
It kind of gets up from its seated position and does that walk over, like arching its back, trying to get you to pet it.
Attempts to poke it for a moment.
As soon as you make contact, you hear purring. It's instant.
Oh.
It's one of those cats. You just look at it and it purrs.
Iris is enamored by a cat.
And if you will let it, it will continue to rub its body on you and meow and purr.
Iris will just lift it, sit down on a sofa, and just let it down on her lap.
And there it goes, instantly curled up, purring, as you pet it.
Just gonna wait maybe a minute or two. So how long do these creatures normally stay here?
Oh, they'll stay there forever if you let them.
Oh, I'm stuck
I
here.
think you're like pretty much trapped now.
Yeah. You ever heard of like an
Okay.
immovable rod? It's kind of like that.
Oh,
That's a good item. Movable cat.
movable cat.
That's going in the bank. That's going in the...
So we're
The
storing
store
that one
can't
away.
move. Why not? There's a cat in the way.
There's a cat on me. Just move it. I can't. It won't move.
And thus, the end of the campaign. You are forever on this couch, eating biscuits. Okay. Yeah, so the cat's chilling. After another couple of minutes, you see the butler return downstairs by himself. The lady is running a bit late, but she has instructed me to take you to the next room for waiting. There you can prepare whatever you require her for, and she'll be joining shortly. I trust you found the breakfast suitable?
Delightful. Thank you.
He looks at you, Iris, kind of gives you the look, like, I know there's about 55 lemon tarts in your chest cavity. Wonderful. If you'll follow me. And the cat kind of looks
I was
at
just
you.
kind of like, what should I do with the cat?
He'll follow. Just stand up.
Oh.
It gets off of your lap, and as you all trickle up the stairs, it follows you. As you move up the stairs, music is off. I don't know if it's off or quiet. Skip it. You notice as you walk up the stairs, you get to about the third from the top, and immediately you are transported almost into a circular room where you can see this large spiral staircase hugging the exterior of the edge of the wall, going up and up and up and up and up, and almost at infinite. Like, just looking up, you see this staircase go up forever. Like, there's no end. And you can see everywhere along the staircase is completely featureless. No walls, there are walls. No doors, no windows. Absolutely nothing but a spiral staircase. However, at the base of this chamber, you can see there are a number of seats, just chairs for waiting or whatever. And there's a cat bed right at the base of the stairs where they meet this bottom floor. And you've now walked into a circular chamber from a square one, at a tower that's infinitely tall, it seems. The butler-esque figure will say, "Again, she should be no more than 5 minutes. Please don't wander off, and get comfortable. Thank you." And you watch as he walks up the stairs, and for as long as you can see, he continues to walk until eventually he just vanishes.
Well, that looks like a tiring journey. I would hate to live here, have to walk up and down those steps all the time. I'm more of a ranch guy myself.
You grew up, right? Based on what you told us.
Well, more or less, yeah.
What town did you say you were from in Ostanza?
I am from... One second.
Begins with a B. Bedford, right?
I am from Bedford. It's a little farming community. My parents owned a shop there. We were like one of the main farm and supply purveyors of the town.
Gotcha. Humble origins, but look at you now.
Well, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and you just gotta try to find out what that reason is and understand it and do your best.
In the middle of you conversing, reminiscing on days of old and how you've now entered into this weird tower, an opening in the space in front of you all, as you stood at the base here, kind of similar to how the door worked that you entered the space in, kind of coming up a door, and it opens, and out steps, hobbles really, a rather, I guess, fat is the way to put it. Old lady who's hunched over, rotund, thank you. Horrible posture, bent over, like spine is all sorts of messed up, with a very old wooden cane that's like not finely carved at all, and kind of comes to a very haphazard point at the base. Atop her shoulder sits a like pale, like ghostly white mouse with red eyes, kind of just looking around the place, staring in between you all. She wears a bandana that's kind of tied up, like a purple one, keeps whatever wisps of her gray hair in check. Bulbous nose, long fingernails, and this ragged dress, which is like stitched together, all these sorts of different canvas type fabrics and different colors. She is a sight to behold. She kind of squints as the door opens and hobbles forward, cane on the ground. Yes, follow me. And she'll turn back into the doorway. You all follow?
I follow, yeah.
Okay.
All right then.
You all instinctually follow her, the cat running between you all eventually into the doorway too.
I guess
And as
this
you-
beats the stairs.
No answer from the old lady, but the door closes behind you in the same way it opens, and you are now in a very comfy office. Big mahogany desk. You can see in the back there are cases of all sorts of artifacts. There are bookshelves lining the walls. There's a singular window, kind of a half round window that overlooks the Hearthflame Inn. You can recognize bits of the glowing gardens, and there's a comfortable set of sofa for you to sit on and a carpet. Very comfortable, like old-fashioned style office. However, there is crap all over the floor, all over her desk. Knickknacks, papers, scrolls. It's like chaos. A hurricane came in and just completely whipped all of this stuff on the floor. It's cluttered, to say the least. You kind of have to push through some of it as she charges through, hobbling her way. The cat will run up and sit on her chair behind this desk, this big leather back chair with like the studs in it, typical chair. And she'll kind of hobble over, not saying anything to you, but she'll hobble over to her seat, go to sit, and you hear a as the cat kind of bites out at her, and she goes, "Fucking scurry, get!" The cat will run out of the seat, and she'll take a seat at her desk. Very awkward, long pauses, and you hear like her scraping the chair against the floor as she's pulling herself in, just completely void of your presence. It seems like just awkwardly doing these things, taking forever. You haven't seated yet. Finally, she says as she places her cane on her table, "Well, take a seat." And
I
Mhm.
suppose you're Meryl?
that I am, yes. As you go to sit, the sofas kind of move closer to you and kind of like force you to sit almost. She kind of flicks her hand and a quill appears, and flicks her other one and paper appears. Shakily, she brings the quill down and starts to write. Again, completely silent. Awkward as you hear the scraping of the quill on the page. "All right, let me look at yous." And she'll like take out from her breast pocket these monocles that she'll put on, strap on her ears. Meanwhile, the mouse is kind of just chilling, just looking at you all. "Ah, yes. Oh, she gets to you, Iris. Fascinating. Okay." Takes the glasses off, puts them on the desk. "Yes, I'm Meryl. Welcome to my home. Sia has sent you, yes?
Yes.
And I suppose you're the one that's the, And she'll look at her page, kind of inspect it super close, bringing it up. Thari, yes?
That's right.
And, what shall I call you, you all?
You mean individually or like as a group?
Whatever works, whatever you want me to write.
Oh, well, my name is Felix. I assume you would have that information, but if not, there it is.
Yes. And you?
My,
Either
my
one.
name's Jara.
Dora? And you're most fascinating. Look at you.
My
You must
name
be
is
Iris.
Huh?
Ah,
Oh,
your reputation precedes you.
I have a reputation.
Quite one. Well, thank you for making the journey. I hope Sia hasn't scared you too much. What can I help you with? She's again writing things down as almost transcribing. At this point, she removes her hand and the quill is still writing, documenting things.
We were
Well?
told that you'd be able to help us out on the mission.
Oh, I sure hope so. What kind of help you need? Sia kept it brief, as she does most things.
Well, what did she tell you?
You're on some conquest, some expedition for her, I think she said. Some archaeological dig.
Yes, indeed. At the Quanji Mountains.
Yes, at the Black Rock Quarry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That's about all I know, but what has she told you about me?
Well, we were made aware of your presence, just as a contact, on the way. If we were to stop during our travels, which we have.
Just a contact, she says. That's how she treats her mother.
Thari's eyes widen.
You know, I tell her all the time, I'm not part of the archive. But here we are, sending archive members on archive expeditions to my doors. Just a contact.
So what do you do here?
Oh, a bit of things here, a bit of things there. I collect mostly and research when I can. And you look around and you can see in the cases behind her seems to be her prized possessions. If any of you are curious, you can either make Arcana or History checks to see what's behind there. But aside from that, there are all manners of ancient-looking skeletons and weird vials of things cluttered around just amidst the mess that is her office.
Jara's gonna do a history.
Yeah, I'll do history on specifically the vials because then I get my
I got a
double
12.
proficiency.
Okay.
I got
I
a
want
20
Arcana for any of this cool shit.
21
Okay.
for me.
Anyone?
16.
Okay. I will start with the Arcana check. Almost everything in the back case is magical in some way. You can actually see in one of these cases, taking up a large chunk of like this unit on the wall is a large arcane telescope. Very large. It looks like it can be foldable, but here it is, fully extended on display on like a tripod. It's like this brass structure with all sorts of lenses affixed to it, kind of sliding lenses you can put on the front and the back. And it looks like it has runes on it, maybe to amplify things or to see into places. Aside from that, you can see there is a... I wrote this down, one sec. Okay. You can also see on her desk, mainly, there's like this glass case of a crystal white rock. Semi-translucent, but for the most part, solid white. And it's got the imperfections that you would expect of some sort of mineral from the earth. She also has in the back case a very, I don't want to say large, a medium-sized ovular shape, hardened in stone almost. The better part of you all would recognize that probably as some kind of ancient dragon egg, maybe hardened to time. And then the last thing you see rolled up haphazardly in this glass case, one of the glass cases, is a carpet of some kind. And then those of you with history would recognize... Oh, I should also add the crystal in the case on the desk seems to be magically tied as well. For all of you history was sufficient enough. Some of the vials contain like weird, like parts of animals or like weird, like experimentation, like pickled things. Strangely, no like potions. I was perhaps a little bit loose in my language. It's like vials of like experimentations. And then the history check in general, that egg is probably like Age of Heroes, like that era of stuff. And let's see, what else was there? Yeah, I mean, generally, most things in here are just old. Aside from the box of crystal on her desk, that seems rather new. But looking around, that's what you all see. I don't quite remember what was the last question was asked to her.
What
Either
she
way-
does here?
Oh yes,
Oh yeah,
thank
what
you.
is yeah, what she does here.
I get things in from all over. Sia sends them. People bring them, and I research them and try and catalog them as best I can. I've accumulated quite a few things over my days. But generally, I focus most of my efforts on arcane pursuits. Again, not part of the archive. Don't let Sia tell you otherwise.
Meryl, after this, remind me. I might have something you would want to add to your collection if you're willing to pay.
Oh. Depends what it is. I don't suppose why not. But I think we should talk business first.
Yeah.
So, Sia tells me you're going to Blackstone Quarry and to seek me out. I assume you have questions, yes? Any?
Well, I suppose we were hoping you would tell us more about the mission, as we didn't get many details to begin with.
Well, I have this here, and she'll shove this case of white rock forward. This arrived at my tower a few weeks back. Sia tells me this is from the Black Rock Quarry, the same one you're intending to go to, I think. But this was dug up. It's what we now know as Whitestone. But as you can see, and she'll undo like the top of the case, put her monocles back on, and she'll like flick almost, and you are all pushed forward on your sofas and chairs towards the desk, the scraping on the wooden floor. And she'll also kind of wave her hand, and you'll all be given kind of like magnifying glasses that you can use to help examine this rock crystal. You can see the veins of this rock. It's faint, but this energy is pure. Nothing like I've seen in years. Look, and you observe, and you do concur that this rock is pretty much as pure as it gets. I don't know how much you know about this kind of thing, but way back in the day, when things were first forming, the planes were forming, crystallized energies, magic. They solidified and buried themselves deep in the subterranean parts of the worlds, and, well, this is what's left of them. But something this pure, it hasn't been discovered in hundreds of years. I mean, the white stone in Taldore is but a mere speck on this scale. This is something else. And she's like excited, in her age. Takes a lot to excite her, so probably says a lot.
What exactly is the potential of this? What could we do with this, or what could theoretically someone do with this type of substance?
Well, it gets pretty dangerous pretty quickly. And she'll put the glass case on it again, smiling. She'll say, slides it back to her. Well, it's pure magical essence, so it could be used for anything. Incantations, spells, anything. Just the other day, look, and she'll like scoot the chair back, taking awkward long pauses, grab her cane, walk over to a clutter of crap on near one of the bookshelves on the side wall, She'll like dig through things, and she'll pull out this wooden stick, polished with a metal cap, and she'll take it to her desk, pulling in the chair as it scrapes across the wood. She'll place it down. This wand, I quickly wanted to drum up something, but just watch. She'll say some arcane enchantment, and you watch as, in the middle of the air around you, above the desk, a very small, maybe like baseball-sized hole forms in like space and time, and you can see the beginnings of what would probably be some sort of portable hole. And you can see the other side looking through is the exterior of the wall behind her, the wall that looks outside and sees the hearth flame in. This is a simple incantation that, kind of like a portable hole, but for small things, right? But limited in both in size and distance it can travel. But watch this. She'll take from her desk a little vial, like a box. She'll pull out some of this white powder, just this amount, and she'll like show you this like little baggy, tiny amount, like no more than like a little sprinkle of sugar. She'll put it on the wand. She'll redo the incantation, and you see, about the size of like a standard humanoid figure, like 6 feet tall, this hole opens up, and you are looking at the forest, the thicket from which you've came. Just that amount. 100 times the distance, and look at the size. This is just but a small drop in the bucket. This whitestone, not even distilled into residuum, is the strongest substance of magical substance, I'll say, on any plane of existence. And this was one piece of one boulder that they excavated. There's more. They tell me hell, it's full. Does that answer your question?
How would I'll pull out my whitestone. I have some of this. I don't think it's from the same vein. I think this is the Taldore stuff, but I've just been carrying this. A friend gave it to me, and I know it's precious, I know it's valuable, but I don't really know how to use it. I would really appreciate being able to do something like that. And I'll point to the portable hole if it's still up.
She would have collapsed it. Give it here. And she'll, as you go to lift it, this hand comes out, mage hand, and carries it to her. Which begs the question, why didn't she do that to get the thing in the first place? She's very quirky, but it brings it over, and she'll take a look at it. This is the diluted stuff from. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's whitestone, but in order to use that, you have to process it a little further, or it needs to be a raw ingredient in some larger incantation. But something like this, this whitestone that comes from this vein in the Black Rock Quarry, it's pure and doesn't need much processing. So to answer your question, you'd have to use it as an ingredient rather than an augment.
In like something such as a potion, perhaps?
Oh, a potion could work. Anything that's magical in nature.
And how much?
Tough to say. I'd have to do it to experiment, but perhaps you could figure that kind of thing out.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Thank you.
So Sia told me your interests lie in not just the quarry, but protecting it, yes? Well, now you know what you're protecting and the importance of it.
Yes, your information is very well received. We have already seen what powerful magics can do in the wrong hands.
Aye, and this is just the start of the end of the world if it's in the wrong hands. You know, you've traveled all this way on the orders of Sia. She hasn't told you much about her or me. Does that worry you a little bit?
I look at their authority.
Well, we have worked closely already.
She left that out. How so?
Well, we uncovered a plot in Tura.
Aye. You're
Stopped those responsible.
You're responsible for those beheadings, yes?
We
You
didn't
could-
do the beheadings, but in a way.
Sia seems to be getting mixed up with interesting company.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't part of that. Just want to throw that out there.
And you? Looks at you, Iris. You're a puzzle.
Suppose, yes.
One of your doings?
Mm,
She's basically asking if one of you guys created Iris.
no. I think I'm from older than this.
Come here, let me have a look at you. And
Oh,
with
Okay.
the seat kind of raises you up,
Way ahead of you.
carries you over basically to her. She turns her chair, and she just starts like taking out her monocle and looking at you. And again, this is all awkward silence. You're just watching this lady examine every part of Iris,
Like a
touching,
doctor's appointment now.
basically. And every so often you hear, ah, yes. Ah.
Do
Um,
you know what this
if she-
is? And
as she's
Iris is gonna
experimenting-
break the
go
arm out.
Oh, never mind.
Oh. Oh, and she'll like grab it, almost like pulling you into her.
Oh,
And she'll examine, poke you. Does this hurt? You feel this? She'll just ask you questions like that.
yes.
And as quickly as you were ushered over, you are now pulled back by the seat
Oh,
and put next to your friends. Peculiar. I have no idea what you are. But you're intriguing.
okay. Iris will wrap her arm back up. Well, thank you.
Quite a treat. Well, you were going to say something. He looks at you, Felix.
Oh
At
no,
this
I
point,
was
it's been like 4 minutes since you said anything.
I was gonna say out of character that I wanted to stop her from looking at Iris's hand because I didn't know how comfortable Iris was with that. But if she's whipping it out, I'll let it happen. That's,
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna whip it out and lay it on the table, you know.
And she'll just lay back or sit back in her seat. She'll look at you. And as though completely forgetting the context of the conversation, she'll say, she's kind of a little senile, you can kind of tell, despite her high intelligence, you presume. Hear the music. There we go. You hear her say, so, Sia calls me a contact, huh? Well, I'll tell you something. I changed that girl's diapers. I watched her struggle in school, struggle to make friends, and she calls me a contact after all these years. Nary send me a letter, cake, nothing.
That might have been my word.
She'll just look at you and then continue as if completely disregarding what you said. And to think, when Alvin died, he said to her, be close to your mother. Be nice to each other. Contact. She'll look at you. Awkward silence fills the room. All right. Anything else?
well, if that's all for the official business, I have some not off the record, but I have some other business that I could do with you.
All right.
I had a few like not unrelated questions as well, but Felix, you can go first.
Okay. So a little while ago, and I'll start pulling out my gemstone case.
Okay.
Came across this gemstone here. I'll pull out the unidentified conjuration gemstone that I have that everyone's been telling me is super powerful, but that nobody's been able to identify.
Yep. Go on.
I tried to cast Identify on this. Didn't really give me much information. And that's never happened to me before. Usually I can identify magical objects. I'm pretty good with that.
I've seen a
So-
thing or two. Give it here.
Here you go.
Takes it from you, places it down. Huh. She'll like look with her monocle. Do me a favor. Get that book there, and she'll point at her bookshelf. That's it, really. Like the third shelf from the top. That one. You kind of walk over.
Oh, I'll use my mage hand. I'm not getting up.
Again, it begs the question: she can do these things, and yet she's not.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell that like she's going in and out of like, you know,
Yeah.
forgetting things. Eventually, you mage hand the book to her. She'll flip through it, pick it up, place it on the page. Huh. What's your name? Pharaoh?
Felix.
Felix. Felix. You have something interesting. Yes. This stone is an ancient artifact used during the Great Reckoning, the second one. Are you familiar?
Somewhat.
Long ago, when the Queen of Chaos was planning her revenge, she was wreaking havoc on the planes, the material planes specifically, and a group of Aarakocrans. Are you familiar with those?
I've read about them.
Starry Mounts, Taldore, they came together and they formed a magical weapon. And she'll slide the book over to you, and you can see sketched in there a rod. Combined with the magical essence of all of the schools of magic, these crystals forged together in this rod and made the ultimate weapon. And it is rumored that it ended the war. It's never really proven, but the tribe of Aarakocrans, the individuals who sacrificed themselves, well, they were never heard or seen from again. And the rod lost to time. You have the gemstone of this rod of law. Conjuration gemstone.
Wow. That seems like a huge deal. I think I'd like to hold on to it, if you don't mind.
Of course. Take care of it. Keep it safe.
I will. I almost sold this on the way here.
Oh my. It's a good thing you didn't.
Are the other stones out there? If
Well,
this one-
it's theorized that when this event happened and they stopped this Queen of Chaos, that the rod broke and its pieces scattered, well, not just on this plane, but on all others. Could be. You got a real rare piece.
Where'd you find that?
I honestly forget. I think maybe Q gave it to me or something. I don't know. I'll think about it. See if I can come up with that.
I mean, if anyone knew the power that that thing had, and maybe they were the one who sent that thing after you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for connecting those dots for me, Jara. That I didn't consider that.
Who came after you? You bringing things here?
No. Oh well. Who knows? Are we in a pocket dimension right now? I think we're probably safe if we are.
She just doesn't answer.
Anyways, yeah. On the way here, we were ambushed by an invisible stalker. And I'll look to Jara for like confirmation on that.
Yeah, it was like a really advanced form of the spell where someone
Oh,
was
dear.
able to conjure an invisible stalker that knew its prey's location and would relentlessly hunt it down until it was either destroyed or it destroyed the target. It's some pretty advanced magics, I would say.
She looks blankly at you. Eyes are kind of closing a little. She kind of shakes awake. Stalkers, you say?
Yeah, would you happen to know anything about them, like their weaknesses or like how to capture one, actually, when we're on the subject?
Capture one.
Yeah, well, I have it on pretty good authority that this the invisible stalker used by this spell would also like know the location of the person that conjured it. So if we
They
were,
do. Yes.
yeah, if we were able to capture one, we might be able to get that information out of it somehow.
From what I know, they don't speak. In fact,
But
they're designed not to speak.
that one like was saying some things for sure.
Yeah, it yelled at
Hmm.
me. It was
Then-
not happy when we were fighting it.
Perhaps it's not an invisible stalker. I haven't heard of any of them speak before. And I'm old.
It was traveling with a pack of displacer beasts. I think that's out of the ordinary as well.
Sia has messed around with some strange folk.
This puts a lot of the pieces together, though. Thank you for identifying this.
Oh, it's
A lot
my
of things
pleasure.
are starting to make sense.
Not many times I get to see such a rare artifact. I will tell you, if you use that in a magical wand or some kind of, focus to focus its energy, you can have a real substantial weapon on your hands. Of course, you have to get it to the right person to do the right thing, but
I'll keep it in mind.
rare find. Out of curiosity, did Sia mention anyone by the name of Tiberius? I haven't spoken to her personally in a few years. Just wanted to check in. After all, these are the only ways I can contact her. When there's business. Archive business. Yada, yada, yada. And she looks at you, Therathari, with kind of a glare. Well, it's a question.
I hadn't heard her say anything about a Tiberius.
Well, that could mean one of two things. Either she is over him, or she's not.
Those are the two options. I think I agree with you there.
Right. She'll sit back and stroke her chin. I forgive me. This Tiberius fellow, they had a little love relationship, I think. I'm a distance away. This is when we spoke. She would call me. Tiberius was the previous High Scepter of the Archive and trained her largely to be what she is today. Real nasty fellow. One of those smug kind of thinks they're above everyone. Wise and handsome.
I know the
Well,
type. Yeah, I've
not a
run
way.
into it.
Just the worst. And she looks off and into the window behind her as she speaks. He was a little bit questionable, and from what I know, started to do some weird things with the archive, using its powers for more nefarious purposes. I think Sia caught wind. One night she texted me feverishly. Cryptic, really, complaining. And from what I know, Tiberius was never heard from or seen since. If you ever do hear, his name is Tiberius Carnellus. If it rings a bell. None of you recognize that name.
That I'm aware of, ma'am.
Well, if you see him, give him a good kick in the knackers for me. Toying with my daughter's heart.
Out of respect for you, ma'am, I'd happily do that.
I like you, Joseph. Good man. Well, I suppose you have other things to do than listen to an old woman rant. Do you have anything else for me? This was a treat. I was expecting worse, but an automaton? An old stone from years beyond? Years past? Wondering if you have anything more up your sleeves.
I'm aware of. I think the information you've provided has certainly been helpful in at least, I guess, shaping the potential of the work that we're doing here and why it's important. Do you have any advice for like the travel there?
Let's see, you're heading south, yeah? She'll conjure up a map. Let me get the south here. She will pan through a virtual tabletop. Okay, there we go. And she'll... the map will float in the air. She's describing. Well, you're here, and she'll point to Answood. And you probably want to go... Well, time is of the essence, which I assume it is. Follow the Westway Walk down through the spires. And it's pretty much a straight shot from there. Spires are a bit treacherous this time of year, especially. Flying
I've heard
creatures.
some horror stories.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we heard some stories. Do you have any more information about the spires and what we might find in there?
This time of year, it's feeding time. So you might run into some winged creatures that like to feed on prey. Rocks. They're usually there. Let's see. She'll like think to herself. A lot of bandits. They tend to going southern for some reason. They tend to cling to the spires, I think. Be people kind of shoved from society and real outcasts. They'll try and take your boots, I'm sure. So be careful of them. And the weather. It's always been a bit weird there. Anomalous, if you will. Patches of rain in some areas, and desolate and dry in others. So really got to prepare for anything. There are some bastions of civilization. I recommend taking a stop at Frey when you get there. They'll keep you safe for the most part, but there's no other way around, really. Gonna have to go through.
Thank you for that insight. I think I have one, maybe two more things before I think I'm ready to go. First thing is, was there anything in town that you needed help with while we were here?
Well, if you have some time, there is something I've been wanting to get, but I haven't been able to find. Outside of Answood, there's an old settlement. Fell shortly after the Great Reckoning, the second one. It's called Oldwood. A lot of the people and early derivatives of Answood came from there. But there's a church there. Can't miss it. Dilapidated, I'm sure, for now, but if you have the time and want to swing by, I could really use some of the scrolls kept there and some of the books. I'll throw in some...
Could you mark where it is on the map?
Ah, of course. Okay, I'll change the color. It's just outside of Answood. It's maybe 3-4 hour journey on horseback. But it's deep into the thicket. Off the beaten path, if you will. If you have time, I'm willing to negotiate some kind of payout for you. But knowing Sia, she's usually tisk with her deadlines.
I think we do have a few days, or maybe even longer, of wiggle room. Obviously, that's given we can keep traveling at a reasonable pace, but if it's just a few hours journey, we could discuss it.
Great. There's a specific scroll I'm looking for. It's written in Abyssal. You may be able to recognize it. I'm not sure, but if you get it, it's the missing piece to my telescope. And she'll point back the case. Been working on it for quite a while, and well, I need it.
Well, I'll certainly see what we can do about that. I mean, we might, like Felix said, we might have the time to actually be able to go do that for you.
Wonderful.
And then one last question I have for you. I was wondering if you were aware of the current events that were going on in town with the Luminous and the Shade Watch, and I was wondering if you had some more information about what might actually be happening there.
Are they talking about the explosion that happened a few days ago? I told them it was an accident. Won't happen again. Is that what you're getting on about?
No, ma'am. It's more like there's just seems to be some internal dispute between the Shade Watch and the Luminous. Like they don't not too keen on each other. There's some conflict brewing.
Oh, I keep myself distant from them, as they do from me.
It's very reasonable. I'm of the mind to maybe do the same, but I was just wondering if you knew something.
Although,
No worries.
if you do see Clarence, I said that word, Clarence, tell him, screw off.
I will keep that in mind.
He's the one goes around and spreads all these rumors about me that I'm crazy and I eat babies or whatever he says. The explosion was an accident. Tell him that.
Absolutely, I will relay that message.
Wonderful. Well, if that's all, I gotta take my medicine.
I think that's it for me. Does anyone else have anything else?
Oh, a lot of my questions were answered. Thank you, Meryl. We'll get back to you about that job.
No problem, Frank.
You're not so
All right.
good with names, are you, Meryl?
What's that?
Ah, nothing.
You hear coming up from the stairs. There's a door behind you all, swings open, and the butler is there with a clear cup of pills and a bottle of Ovaltine. Miss Sky, it's time for your... I know. At that point, the butler kind of gives you all the look, and you all leave the room. And as you exit, there's a flourish of Meryl's fingers, and you step out into the pouring rain. The door closing behind you. We will take our 10-minute break.
All right.
So back in like 5-10 minutes, finish out the session. Right. Okay.
How
You
long
are
was
ushered.
that? Did I take
No,
too
you're
long?
perfect. No,
All
that
right.
was like less than 5 minutes, basically, or around 5 minutes. So you had a little bit
What?
more
No
time.
way. Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't that long at all. So you all, I guess I should erase that dot now. You are all ushered out onto the pouring, sopping rain that is taking place in Answorth currently. It's only been, surprisingly, it's only been like 15 minutes when it really felt like an hour plus.
Well, at least it didn't take that long.
Yeah, we've got the whole day ahead of us.
I mean,
And
we
I'll-
could like do that side mission for her like today.
Yeah, we could. I think next we were going to do some shopping. You said you wanted to get some information.
Right, but I mean, if we do this and then we get some funds from it, then we might have some more money to go shopping with. So it
And we
might
would
be
know what we need and what we don't need. Yeah.
might be more efficient to do the task now, get the reward, and then go shopping with the reward plus whatever our funds are now.
Only thing is,
Well,
it's a rainy day. I don't know how well we're going to
Well,
travel.
it's just, yeah, that's fair, but
I suppose as long
yeah.
as Iris's compartment can keep the scrolls dry.
Should be
Yeah.
able to do that.
I think so. As long as we keep it out of the lemon tarts that are in there, I think it should be fine.
There's not
I'm
much
sure I
room
can
after
keep them
those.
separate. Iris is going to retrieve a lemon tart and eat it.
You notice,
you-
Iris?
Do you taste that?
I know. You taste. You notice all over the front of your like porcelain plates, a lot of cat hair.
Oh. Is this normal?
Yeah, they shed a lot.
Iris is going to spend some time attempting to dust off the cat hair.
It'll come off on its own over time. It's just they kind of like mark you that way that
Oh.
they've been there.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Jara, what are you suggesting? Are we going to turn around and go back in and tell her we accept?
I mean, I think we can just do it and then come back with the scroll, Rash. She told us everything we need to know.
It's true. I'll look around at everyone else. I'm down.
I mean, I'm open to
Yeah,
whatever
fine
you
with this.
guys want to do, but I think it might be useful. I mean, she's also seems to be very powerful, so I mean, if we do this for her, get more on her good side, that also can't hurt.
Should be easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're just going to some abandoned church and picking up some scrolls that are there. So hopefully, it's not too difficult. The journey in the rain might be the hardest part. Infamous last words.
One of you choose make a perception check.
Not I.
Boom. 10.
Okay.
Hey.
10. Across the street, you guys are kind of standing still under semi-cover of the overhang of the roof in front of the Shadespire. You overhear across the street heading towards, like, I'll draw it, the direction. Heading in this direction, like you're here. You see 4 Shade Watch members. Looks like they're in heated argument. And you overhear the words, yeah, if Clarence said to do this, so we need to go to the house, and we need to get him out, and we need to take him, get rid of him. That's what he said. And then the other guy's like, dude, the Luminous are going to know. They're going to I don't give a shit. Let's go. And they start at a quicker pace after that guy shuts everyone up, head toward, like, down the street in that direction.
On a side note, I think I kind of want to follow those people.
Are they talking about kidnapping this Clarence guy?
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to kidnap someone, and if the Luminous are like the peacekeepers of the crown, it sounds like they're going against what the Luminous is. So, I mean, Felix, you might have been right in that these Shade Watch people are kind of creeps.
Yeah, that seems like the more pressing, like eminent thing.
I'm down to like follow them.
At this point, they're like 30 feet in front of you now. Like, they're moving pretty quick. So if you want to do anything, you got to choose here.
Yeah,
You're
let's
following
let's
them?
go.
Yeah.
All right, if you all are following, make stealth checks.
Oh, this is not a good idea.
Oh, baby. 18.
Don't worry. Nat 20.
Nice.
A modest 15.
5.
22.
Okay. Iris is still pushing clumps of fur off of her that have been wet and matted with the rain. So it's a task. And she kind of just is walking. As you guys kind of duck low and kind of hug what little cover you can find, Iris is kind of just walking, just like flinging things off of her body. Eventually you get her under control. And because most of you rolled pretty high, in fact, I'll roll for them. They don't seem to see you at all. So how much of a distance do you want to keep? If you want to be closer to them, you'd have to hustle a little bit more. But if you're all right with them kind of being a little bit further away,
I mean, we have that extra walking speed, right?
yeah, I mean, but they're hustling. They're like at basically a slow jog.
How far away would we have to be to overhear what they're saying?
That varies based on DC. If you want to have an easy chance, I mean, anywhere within 20 feet would be like you could pretty much hear anything. But if you want it to be, it scales as you go out.
How about medium chance?
I mean, without giving you the exact DC range, you probably would want to be within like 30, 35 feet.
I think 30 feet. Is everyone cool with that?
Because they are trying to keep it a little lower volume, despite them yelling.
Sounds good to
before.
me.
Okay. Following, I'll invite one of you to roll perception only. And you're going to be rolling a few of them, perhaps. But for this next wave with following them, whoever, just yell out the roll.
I am not our
Another-
perceiver.
Another 10.
Okay. You guys follow, and as soon as you get to this center sort of monument in this town center, I drew the wrong direction. Nope, I don't want to do that. They swing this way. You overhear as they kind of get to this monument. Are you sure it's over here? Yeah, I'm fucking sure. Just follow me. Shut up. And the other one's like, I don't think this is right. Would you? That's what you hear. All right. Once they get to here, like right about here, all of you reroll stealth.
No,
Ooh,
9.
17.
Oh
How
shit!
many- I'm gonna use my-
19.
Inspiration here, because I feel like
I rolled a
9 is
natural
pretty
20 and a 19. God damn.
I rolled a 4. So
It's a 10, not a 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
still.
So you guys kind of take position, probably where the tree line is there, like a faint little bit of trees, a little patch of trees, and for the most part, you feel like you're good. You overhear and watch as the Shade Watch members. You hear shing, as they're like unsheathing weapons. They get real low, and they're approaching this house here. It's kind of like a duplex right here, and they're approaching the one on the left. And right as you guys are about to move, Felix, you're kind of in the back, I'll say, and you turn your head, and standing like 2 feet behind you, kind of looking at you with discern, is our 2 luminous soldiers. What's going on over here?
They're up to no good, sir.
we heard these Shade Watch people saying that they were going to get someone, and that the Luminous might not be too happy about it. So we
Someone named Clarence.
Right. Make a persuasion check, Felix, with advantage, because you're using names and you have aid.
Oh, let's go. Persuasion. 19.
Okay. Stand up, all of you. Where are they? Point them out.
Iris will just point in a direction.
They are
They're
not
right by
there.
That duplex over there is where we last saw them.
Over here. And he'll like begin to walk with you. He'll look at his buddy. They kind of have the hands on the hilts of their sword.
Do these
get-
Luminous look like the Luminous that we're familiar with from Turia?
Make an insight check.
It's a good question, Toby.
17.
You. All right, I need everyone to deafen and mute.
Oh jeez.
Hold on.
Except me, I'm assuming?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna talk to
Okay.
myself. All right, guys. Okay. All right. You notice that the one who's speaking is faking an accent for sure, a posh accent, and the guy next to him hasn't said a word, but you can sense he's nervous.
All right.
Good to go here.
Whispers.
We good to come back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta get ping Tom.
Tom's so dedicated.
He's not even looking. He doesn't want to read your lips.
Dedication.
At
All right, yeah, just someone
Tab.
message for me.
You're good.
All All right. They usher you over. They're starting to like make their like collective way. You guys were kind of like back here, I'd say. And let me clear the drawing. So they're here. You guys started back here-ish, where like the soldiers kind of came up, and now they're. Oop, I pressed the wrong button. Now they're leading you, kind of like in this direction.
So they're leading us.
Yeah, they're kind of like not necessarily leading you, but you pointed in a direction, and they're walking the path.
Ahead of us.
No, they're like surrounding you. Two of them.
Oh, okay.
So one is on. You kind of probably are. I would say you're walking in a clump. You lot. So they're on either side of you, and they're sort of walking forward towards the house, the duplex. You said they're here, yeah?
Yeah, that duplex right over there is where we last saw him.
All right. Just stay here. He's going to take a few steps like towards. Then he'll like unsheath his sword, get real close to the wall, and then pop his head in the window. Look back and just kind of give like a thumbs down. And then his buddy will say, all right, everyone, just get in the line here. Don't resist anything. We're just going to take you in for some questioning. Be out in a jiff.
Wow, like what did we do?
Yeah, where are you taking us? We were just standing in the street.
But just, please. And he looks at his buddy, and his buddy makes the way back, stepping rather quickly, not stealthily. They look at each other. They unsheath. Or the other one unsheaths, because the one went to the wall was unsheathed already. Don't mention the name Clarence again, and then initiative. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Oh dear.
Oh shit!
1 sec.
Oh, nice. That's a good initiative roll for me.
Just keep it real quick.
Alright,
I gotta
God.
get you guys to the map.
I was Tony or Tom. I was going to tell you to get your like royalty paperwork out if we were going to get arrested.
This is good enough here. So this should look familiar, but this will serve us fine.
Okay. That's alright.
Fought in this alley before.
Exactly.
I had some good telekinesis moves in this alley.
All right, so we need Altessa. Nope, that's the wrong one, Jared. Can you tell it's been a long day? Alfredo, Felix, Iris, Jara, Therathari. Jara's always huge. It's annoying.
Well, they're all tiny. I think, to be fair, I'm to scale.
Yeah, I think he might be. Yeah, 1.
I mean, because I'm like
No,
smaller than this barrel here.
Yeah, all right. This will be 2.
I think I'm that short.
This will be...
I think everyone else was too small.
Felix, you might be a little short. Does that look right, Felix, or you get a little more height here?
Fine. Alfredo's huge, but I'm
Yeah. Oh, that's a massive...
Alfredo's like a New York City rat.
Yeah, for real.
Jesus.
That's pretty wild. All right. Draw the grid. Make it just a little bit bigger. It's not quite to scale.
Who's whipping me around?
I don't know. It's not me.
There we go.
That's
That
Tom.
would be Tom.
Tom's whipping me around.
How the hell did you do that? All right, so you guys are kind of pressed up. This is the trees, we'll call it, that you were at before, if you recall. You would be not near a pony. You'd be pressed up against this house. Kind of here. Can't quite.
Good
All
stuff.
right. These buildings were a little.
A little weird, yeah. And then I'll get the guards that were on your way, and then I'll get the music in 1 second. Just bear with me here.
Oh yeah, this is where we fought the. I mean, it's not obviously not exactly, but like, this is the
This is where we
Maybe
got
like-
ambushed.
Yeah, it's maybe
bench.
like a smaller version of that, or maybe I'm just going crazy.
No, I think
No, this
it-
is this is the exact same
yeah,
one.
it should be the exact same, but it's okay. We're gonna run with it.
That's where I got my
Um,
stockpile of guns.
True, it is. So I'll just remove this.
Tom, what the hell are you doing? How are you?
All right, this is not a building, so
Kratos breakdancing.
okay. And then the guards will be
So
Can I
no
just-
no building there. We're just
no
ignoring
building. Correct.
That? Okay.
And you can see the wanted poster. That's pretty funny. All right, so you guys would be kind of pushed up here with the guards. I mean, you can arrange yourself honestly. I trust you, but
I'm
either
fine,
way,
that's-
the guards will be here. I will change the music, and then we can get. I'll get the initiatives down, and we'll start this encounter. Okay. This is not battle music. Stop. All right. So, you all are pressed up against this building in the pouring rain. The two guards have unsheathed their swords and have threatened you. The one on the left, which is the one that was talking mostly, he says, now dropping his accent, "Don't ever say the name Clarence again," and he'll step forward. All right, so I need 25 to 20. Nobody. Okay? Hold on, my marker's not working. Okay. I'll write down 19 to 15.
I got 16.
So Jar is at 16. Okay. 14 to 10.
11.
So 13 for Felix. 11 for Iris. Tom, what did you get?
5.
Barathar is at a 5. Not the worst roll, Tom. Just so you know.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Could be. There's about 4 numbers that could be worse than that.
All right. So, top of the round is the guard on the left, who I have named G1, so everybody knows. And this is G2.
G1. G1. G2.
You'd probably would be back here. Step away. All right. He's just going to swing on you. You're right in front of him, Felix, unfortunately for you.
All fine.
He's going to step forward. Using the weight of his body and his forward momentum, he's going to swing. What you see is a pretty rundown, kind of crappy short sword. But he will roll for an attack. That is a 19.
That will hit.
Okay. With that... that is going to be 12 points of slashing damage. And then with his second attack, he will attempt to pierce you with the sword. So he slashed across your front, he'll attempt to pierce you. That will miss. That's a natural 2. So he goes to step forward and strike at you, and you are able to dodge out of the way in the nick of time. He'll shout as the slash connects across your chest. "You'll be a message to the rest," and he'll slash. Okay, that will be... Actually, he will move in the middle here. Actually, no. He will move through here. This is going to be tough. I don't think I can do it. He's behind
We have to
you.
remove the building.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably worth it.
There's a building there.
That is a building.
Yeah, we can see the building is there.
He'll take a step behind you. Okay. And for his bonus action, you hear him jingling some sort of shackles, probably. All right, Jara, you are up with Felix on deck.
I'm gonna back up. How far can I go, like off the mat?
Yeah,
Or-
sure. As far as you want.
1, 2. I'm gonna just back the fuck up down the alleyway here. I guess there's no house there, but I'm going to meta magic quicken spell mage armor onto myself as a
Okay.
bonus action. And then my action is going to be casting Hold Person at spell slot level 3 on both of them. And that's a Wisdom
good.
saving throw.
Okay. Let me get your. Let's see if I have a thing for this. I don't have mage armor, so it's all right. I don't have a status effect, so you'll just track that. Okay. They need to make what? 2 wisdoms, right?
Wisdom saving throw, yes.
First one is a 14.
Fails.
Second one is a 4.
Fails. Both fail.
So they are.
They are paralyzed for up to 1 minute, and I'm concentrating.
All
God
right,
damn.
Let me get all that out. Paralyzed. I don't know. Do I have a concentrating one? I should. Felix, assuming Jara is done, it is your turn. You watch as the bodies of these individuals just kind of freeze and lock in place.
I think you need a second paralyzed token.
Yep, I'm working on that. So that's you.
So paralyzed is that an auto hit or auto crit?
Auto advantage to hit and auto crit if it does, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
From melees. Let me double check.
Melee's on. Let's see. Yeah. So
They
paralyzed
become
is
unparalyzed by any means?
incapacitated, can't move or speak, automatically fails strength and dex saves, attack rolls have advantage. Any attack that hits is critical if it's within 5 feet.
It's
Okay.
not specifically melee, but if you're within 5 feet.
Correct.
Gotcha. So I will. Oh, I have a free bonus action because I already have advantage. Normally, I would use Alfredo to get out of advantage, but what do I want to do? I can't really do much. I will attack him with my Force Dagger and cast Green Flame Blade, the classic,
Nice.
stabbing him non-lethally in the leg because I want answers.
Okay.
For a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh, times 4?
Is it
No.
times 4?
No,
Oh,
I mean, you
I'm
auto
for
crit
it.
anyway, so.
okay. So that means I roll double the dice or double the number that comes up.
I think we've always done double the number, but you can choose whatever you like.
Okay. Does doubling the number also double,
No,
like
Just
constants?
the roll. It's not
Yeah,
just
it's
the rolls.
just the rolls, not the
Okay,
constants.
gotcha. I don't get many crits, so.
And you have to
Um,
decide before you roll, obviously, what you're doing, because you can't choose to.
But yeah, no. I'm gonna double the number. I'm just rolling one set of dice.
Cool.
All right. So that is. Oh, that's a good roll. Okay, this is my one shot. I don't know how much health he has. 11, 12. So that's 24 plus 8, 32 damage.
32.
Non-lethal damage.
And you're going for the leg, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take your green flame blade. That's a weird thing to say. I don't know why. And you lunge forward into the thigh of this guy who is unmoving, and all you hear is a as his mouth is unmoving, but he's groaning and crying of pain. And you remove the blade, and you can see blood is pouring from his thigh. The rain is washing it down and pooling on the ground below you. He is in all sorts of pain. Make a perception check.
Okay. 18.
18? Okay. You notice 2 things. One, that scream was loud and echoed. While not many people are on the streets, that kind of probably carried to where maybe some people are. And 2, the noise from the house that you were next to or going towards, not noise, I should say. There is a noise. And you hear struggling, the starts of struggling, and then it swiftly end, all in the matter of your turn. Okay, that ends your turn. Unless you want to move or do anything else. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe that as a bonus action, I can command Alfredo to attack on his own.
Did you use your bonus action to do the green flame thing?
No, the green flame blade is
Part of
part
the
of part of the attack.
Oh, nice. Dope.
Yeah, so Alfredo will do his own attack.
Get him, Alfredo.
So he rolls with advantage, I suppose. Oh, Alfredo's going to do a shit ton of damage here because he is. Okay, yeah. So that's a 23 to hit,
Okay. Yeah.
and he's going to do. Wow. Okay, he's going to do 8 force damage, which is a lot for him.
Holy shit!
Wow, that is
Attaboy, Alfredo.
40 damage in one turn. Okay.
Yeah.
How describe how Alfredo attacks? This is his first time attacking.
He's just going to bite his Achilles.
Okay. As Alfredo bites down, you hear yet another screech of pain from this poor guy. As now
Poor
he's
guy.
bleeding.
Why didn't he attack us?
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
Fair. Okay. All right. That will end your turn,
Yep.
correct, Felix?
Yep.
Iris, you are up.
All right, I'm going to get closer to this paralyzed fool. I think you made a mistake, and I'm going to place my hand on his chest, and I'm going to activate my thunder gauntlets.
Oh boy.
I'm basically tasing him. So that's going to be a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
I'm going double dice versus double number.
Yeah, whatever you want. I don't really care. Up to you guys.
All right, so that's 10 points of thunder damage on the first shock. And I'm going to pulse again. It's going to be a 23 or another 27.
Both hit.
And the next one is 13 points of thunder damage. So 23 altogether.
Okay. Add another D4 because it's raining. Is this is this yeah.
This is thunder damage, yeah.
Oh, it's not electrical at all?
No, it's thunder, not lightning.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not lightning.
Which is
Got
more
it.
concussive rather than anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So never mind. No extra D4. I was gonna give you because it's water and all that.
Yeah, if it was lightning, it would have made sense. But this is more like, yeah,
Right.
this is a more concussive. It's like, what's the best way to describe how this
It's like
works?
force.
It's as if he's paralyzed. I put my hand on him, and it's like being 1-inch punched. Essentially, is what's
Yeah,
happening here.
You see his body absorb it. Hear cracks of bones. For both hits. He too, his eyes are filled with terror as he can't blink or do anything.
Iris is just going to look at him and smile.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. 1 sec. She's a little big. Okay. So. Thank you. Really, I want her like over here. All right. She's not floating. She's just behind the cart. Okay. I'm not sure why that's so weird. I don't know why. And I can't whatever. Anyway, you hear and witness a crossbow bolt fly. It will probably, she has the best sight on Therathari here. Therathari, this will aim for you. Crossbow bolt. That's a natural 19. Will that hit? Yeah, probably. Okay. Okay, that is 11 piercing damage.
Oh, wow.
As you hear a shout, "Hey, fuck off!" And this person is not on a stump, but is indeed shooting you with a crossbow. That will end her turn. Therathari, you are up.
Okay. Did Therathar hear anything that happened in the building?
Oh yeah, you definitely would have heard a loud what, and then a series of fighting noises that ended almost instantly.
Okay. So where are the windows to this building?
They were on the street facing side, like out here,
Street. Okay.
and then there's one single window A little bit off screen here. That's like a back door, kind of. A side door, I should say.
Okay.
One story, though.
So Therathari, having just been shot with the crossbow, will what's the difference here? Will step out and throw a guiding bolt at the crossbow.
Okay, so she has ducked under 3/4 cover. So they have
Okay.
+5 to AC.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
So go ahead and roll.
Ooh, did quite nicely. A dirty 20.
That will not hit with her AC bonus.
Oh shit. That's tough.
So what did you shoot? You shot a what?
A guiding bolt.
Okay, so you watch as the bolt boom, slams into the front of the cart that she is currently ducking behind.
Does
You
that
hear-
damage it at all?
A little bit. But you hear an audible, "Fuck."
Therathor will continue to move,
Okay.
ideally out of the line of sight of this archer.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 5 squares right there.
And will, I suppose, ready. Well, not literal game action ready, but is interested in what happened in the house. Is preparing himself.
Oh, you can make a perception check if you'd like. You could probably see the.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Roll a 24.
Okay, looking in, you can see, basically there's a front room that you're looking into, and you can just see, like where a sofa is, and next to the sofa, like on the back wall there's an opening, and a hallway, and in the hallway you can see 3 cloaked black coats, huddled in a close proximity.
Okay. That's my turn.
Alrighty. This guy's going to go. Do they make a save, Dan, at all?
At the end of their turn.
Alright, so I have to roll for the other guy. Oh, no, because he didn't go
that
yet.
guy, he went first. So yeah,
Yep,
he went.
so this
I
guy
went
can't do anything, so I'll just roll.
Yep, his roll. Yeah.
That's a 5. Nope.
Fail.
Great spell.
Nice.
Alright. That ends his turn. The first guy will go. We'll roll to see if he gets out. There it is. That's an 18.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
That's his turn, though, correct?
That is. It's because it's at the end of his turn. So yeah, that was. His
So
turn.
he gets, his body loosens and stops being this like hardened statue-esque shell, and he fuck, and he'll yell as blood is still running from his quad. His eyes narrow in on you, Felix, and glance over towards Alfredo. Jara, you're up.
All right. I am going to. Which one does that one do? Okay. I am going to cantrip frostbite on that guy, the guy who broke out of the
Okay,
spell.
go ahead.
So that it's a con save, DC 16.
Fails with a 7.
All right, so he takes
Rolling like shit. I'm gonna switch dice.
he takes 7 frost damage, and he also has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll
Let me get
that
that
it
out.
makes.
Okay. Roger that.
And then you said that there was like a back door back here.
Correct.
Where approximately?
By the
Do you
way,
know,
the
like-
house that's in question is this one, not the one that's gone.
Okay. And then they're not like attached at all. They're just next to each other.
It's a duplex.
So like, but if I get into this house, I can't get into that house.
You don't know. I mean, all you know is it's a duplex.
Can I see into this house through that back door?
Yeah,
window?
there's a window like basically a little bit ahead of where you are.
Okay, I'm gonna go move over to it and take a look in.
Okay, make a perception check.
Not great. That is a 5.
Okay, looking in, there's a curtain in your way. All you can see is a little sliver, and it looks like a dining area, currently vacant.
Currently vacant.
And no food on the table.
No food on the table. Can I try the door, or would that be doing too much on my turn?
Did you use an action?
I did. My spell was an action. I have a bonus action left.
Oh yeah, your bonus action, you can go for the handle.
Okay, I'll check the door.
It is unlocked.
Cool.
Uh,
Can I open it, or would that be my
no,
action?
opening it will be the next part of your turn.
Okay, understood. Then that'll be my turn.
Okay, Felix.
Right, so I'm gonna first use my bonus action.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I feel like this guy. How's this guy looking?
Dan, pick a square.
Where's the door? Is it like here?
Yeah. Go on.
All right, that's where it'll be.
How's he looking, you said?
Yeah.
His body is frosted over as the rain poured down and kind of froze him up. But you can see he's bleeding pretty badly from his leg. And, you know, this guy doesn't look very strong to begin with.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna Yeah, Alfredo's gonna do his flying thingy. I think that's just safer. I'd rather get the confirm. So Alfredo's gonna fly in his face, and simultaneously Felix is gonna make another jab at the other leg.
Yeah, you hear him. Fuck! What the? Fuck off! Go ahead and attack.
And it is a. This might not. It is a 17 to hit.
That will hit. Yep.
All right. And he is going to take. 19 damage total. If you want me to like break it down, I can. But
No, that's okay.
Combination of fire and force.
Okay, I want you to make a dexterity check to see if you can pull back your punches enough or your attack enough to not kill him.
All right. Dexterity, just straight dexterity.
Yep.
19.
Okay. You manage to just barely keep him stable enough to where he's not dead, but will shortly be. However, he falls prone, and you hear, no, you don't, because he's paralyzed. You just hear, "Aah!" Okay, well, that your turn?
Yep, that's everything I can do.
All right,
Actually, sorry.
yep.
No, I'll duck behind cover because this lady's shooting crossbow bolts. And
Um,
Alfredo will join.
Iris, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna do 2 more Thunder Gauntlet strikes on G2 over here.
Go ahead.
Alright, it's going to be an 18 to hit.
Yep.
Alright, that's going to be 12 points of thunder damage.
Okay, make me a dexterity check as well. Actually, yours would be more strength. No, dexterity. Yours is dexterity too. To not kill this person. Unless you want to.
I'm actually better with strength than dexterity.
Yeah, I think even still though. This
Oh, that's
would
a natural
be...
20.
Okay, yeah, so you can choose if you want to keep him alive. You can keep him alive.
Yeah, Iris is not Tenley, so this is going to be a concussive knockout.
All right, and he falls.
Actually, that's the first attack. Oh, okay. She'll turn around. So what's the plan now?
I think there's someone shooting crossbow bolts from down the road there,
Oh, okay.
and I think there might be something going on in the house.
20, 25, 30. She'll start making her way to the front of the house over here.
Okay. Will that end your turn?
Yeah.
All right. This young halfling girl stands up, uses the cart as steady, and shoots at you, Iris.
What I'm here for.
Now that you're in the middle. Okay, that is a 17.
Does not hit.
The arrow ting, breaks, and you watch as it hits the ground. Smoke begins to billow out.
Jared, I'm going to remove my concentration because I guess
Sure.
it doesn't matter anymore.
It's a lot of smoke. This doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot of smoke. It fills the area. In fact, it's 20 feet radius.
Oh.
This column of smoke in front of you all.
Pretty much this whole thing.
And that will end her turn. Therathar, you're up.
Okay. Any changes on the inside of the building here?
You cannot see. You are looking through a cloud of smoke.
Too much smoke. Okay.
It's essentially a smoke bomb that just went off in a 20-foot
Gotcha.
radius. See if I can find a better thing for that.
Just get a bunch of them.
I might. Yeah.
Put like 3 of them in there.
Their authority doesn't really love his chances of running through the smoke. So,
Let's just
what
call
he's
it
gonna
this.
do
It's not a fireball, but get the idea.
is he's gonna approach the door of the building, the perpetrator building.
As soon as you walk in, you are shrouded. So go ahead and make a perception check or investigation, rather.
Okay. 24.
Okay, you stumble your way to the handle of the front door.
Okay. He's going to stand off to the side and prepare for someone to walk through. And if they do, he's going to attack with his mace.
Okay, just to clarify, this house you're standing in front of was not the house where they went in. This was the first
Wait,
house
what?
in the duplex, remember?
It's the second house.
Yeah, it's this one.
Oh, how was I able to see into it then?
There's a window. Well, it doesn't look like it, but there's windows there
Oh, okay. All
facing the street.
right. Well,
That's what I thought you asked about.
yeah. I guess had a misconception. Like when the guards accosted us, I figured we were in front of that one. Anyway, so
Yeah, they took
I
you
may,
in
then.
front of the first
just-
house before you got to the
I'll
second.
just do the other one. Same idea.
All right. What's your movement? You have enough movement. to get
35.
through there? Where did you start?
Here, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. You're in a. Because I'm treating this smoke effectively as I would darkness, right?
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, if they're blind in it, then
Yeah, you would be blind. If when you choose, I'm trying to see how it works. I think the way I usually roll this is you roll a d4 and that's your cardinal direction. 5e. Walking through. Paul, does that sound right?
that's what we usually do in blindness.
Hey.
I feel like.
I mean, it's dependent on. It's usually a house rule, I find.
I don't know where I'm probably just in the same direction. Okay, I'll give you a choice. You saw what this terrain looked like before the smoke came up, right? So,
So what looked like?
like, the area in front of you.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you can either choose to go in one direction only, or if you want to choose to go in a different direction, at that point you would have to roll.
Okay, yeah. So Therathor is just gonna go towards the direction that he believes the front door to be in.
Okay. All right, so because you saw it before, You can make it to that area and then make your investigation check to see if you can find the door, which you did as a 24. So you found the doorknob only because you rolled high.
So he finds the door and readies himself for someone to come through.
All right, so are you holding the handle, or are you just kind of sitting there waiting in the smoke?
No, standing off to the side.
Okay.
Yep.
That will end your turn. Guard 2. He is bleeding out and probably has another round, maybe, of life left, if not
is he?
stabilized.
He's internally bleeding, isn't he?
Yeah. I guess I can make a death save for him. Why not? He failed. With an 8. Okay. Guard 1. I'll roll for him too. Why not? He succeeds with a 15. So that's 1 fail and 1 success. Okay. Jara.
Yeah, I guess I want to open the door now.
All right. You bring the handle down, swing it in, and you go in.
Just like stick my head in and look over.
Okay. Make another perception check.
Still not good. 5.
Looking in, you can see this duplex is very small. There's a little dining area here. There's a like when I say here, I mean in this area here, like in the front, towards the front. Then back here is like, it's kind of like a studio essentially, a studio duplex.
Mm-hmm. Do I see? Does it connect to the other one, or is it like a solid wall?
There's a solid wall there.
All right, so then I don't go in because I know I can't get through. I'm assuming there's no door on the back of this one, right?
There is a door there.
Okay, then I'm gonna walk towards that one. So where's the door?
It's right next to the chimney. See if I can draw it.
Is it on the left or the right?
It's on this side.
Okay. 5, 10, 15,
There you go. There's the door.
30, 35.
It's not on the wall, but you get the idea. Okay.
So I'm right there. Does that have a window?
The door does not, but there is a back window on the other side of the chimney that you were just there.
Nah, I'm going towards the door. All right. Can I try the handle here with my bonus action? And
yeah, sure. It is unlocked.
Okay, and I guess that'll be my turn. So I'll be there.
Okay. Right as you're standing there, the door swings open. I need you to make a strength save.
Who, me?
Yep.
What a joy. Strength save, not my greatest. That is a 7.
Okay. You are pushed prone and 5 feet away from the door as it swings open, and out come the four Shade Watch. And
I thought there were 3.
there were I think I said 3. Yeah, you're right. The 3 Shade Watch, and then 2 of them are carrying a guy, body, and then 1 is leading the charge. And then they'll look at you. You hear one say, "Fuck, we got it," and he'll begin to cast it.
Can I react and yell or something?
I don't think that's technically a valid reaction.
Okay.
Let's see. I need you to make.
Is he casting a spell?
I need you to make a con save. Yeah, he is.
Can I use my reaction to do counterspell him?
Can you counterspell his reaction? I think that's the definition of.
Yeah, counterspell is a reaction.
Yeah, why not?
That's pretty cool.
Cool. So
he will use his reaction to counterspell your. Can you? I think did we rule that?
We ruled that you could. I think.
Yeah,
right? Didn't we?
I think so too.
I think we've had precedent for it in the one shots. So
Yeah, I think in the one shot we allowed it. The counterspell of a counterspell.
Yep. So you are being counterspelled by that counterspell.
Okay, so then my counterspell doesn't work. So then con save.
Con save. Yep. This is the leader guy who's saying this to you.
I'm not rolling too great. I got an 11.
Okay, you are blind and deafened.
Blind and deaf.
Wow.
That's not great.
Oh, no, it's
terrible.
or deafened, excuse me. So he will choose blinded.
Okay.
And he is concentrating. And then all you hear is them leaving in a hurried pace back door. Okay, Felix.
All right. So, did I hear any of that?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 7.
Nope. Not a thing.
All right. Sorry. Then what Felix would do is try to stabilize guard 1.
Okay, make a medicine check. The DC is super low unless you natural 1. He's basically all right.
19.
Okay, yeah, you managed to... He's still bleeding, but you're applying pressure and keeping him alive for the moment. Without any healing, he could still die. But, yeah, it's not like you... In other words, you've extended his life a little bit, but unless you actually go in and apply some sort of healing solution, he'll bleed out. But
Okay. I did not realize that was how it would work.
Does stabilize bring him to 1 HP or?
I think stabilize normally just stops death saves.
Yes.
So then
Okay.
so then he wouldn't die.
I feel like all right. I mean, I guess by the rule book, sure. So he won't die. I was just saying, realistically speaking, he just got
I would've,
stabbed a
like,
bunch.
Patched up the 2 stab wounds.
Okay.
like-
so then
like-
he's stable then.
Yeah.
That is correct. So he's stable. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, and then I'll
Bonus
start tying
action.
him up.
Okay. Make a dexterity check. Why not? Make sure don't fuck this
Nat
up.
1.
Okay. You think he's tied up?
Cool.
This is why we roll. Okay. You have a bonus action and more movement. Is that it though?
I figured one of those things was probably my bonus action.
Okay, fair enough. Did you want to move at all? I think no, right?
Yep, I'll move to guard 2 to start doing the same thing with him.
All right. Iris.
Would Iris have heard anything out back?
Perception.
Let's see. That's 16 plus. Dirty 20.
You might have heard the beginnings of a door slam. Coupling that with Jara being back there could raise some flags.
Okay. Yeah, Iris is going to stop and start moving around that way. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
They would have used their full movement, so they'd probably be off screen.
Yeah, and then full movement, so another 35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Is that with your extra +5?
Oh, the plus 5s, yeah.
Yep,
Dude,
everybody has +5.
should have been
Okay.
35, 35, so 70. Oh.
Yeah, you see me on the ground, and I'm just kind of like going like this. Like,
Flailing helplessly.
Do I see people?
They stealth pretty well. Make another check.
Okay. No, that's a 6. I wouldn't see shit.
They are ducking low.
Alright, it's more I see Jara than... Oh. What happened to you?
they knocked me over, and made me blind, and they ran away.
Oh. That's my turn.
Okay, Arathari.
Right. So
The smoke is dissipating. It's not gone, but let me see if I can grab this token here. It's like just the radius is getting just smaller, just a little smaller.
okay.
Second
Does
reading.
Theratari know the status of the crossbow?
Oh, you can look now that you can see outside.
All right. Yeah. So he'll look to see if the crossbow person is still.
Okay, glancing at the
Part of the
cart,
combat.
you don't have to really roll for the cart. She's not
Okay.
there at the cart. But if you want to see where she is external to that, then you'd have to roll.
Yeah. So he'll just scan down the street, sort of the direction that.
Okay, she is not immediately out and anywhere visible upon your cursory glance.
Okay, so Therathar is feeling relatively not confident about the situation. And will double back towards his friends.
Okay.
Again, trying to use his knowledge of where
You,
things
you
are.
can just kind of feel your way against the crate, I would say, here.
Yeah, okay.
You can get there. I'll have to
Alright,
rethink
speak.
how I want to do smoke in the future, but I think for now that's completely fine. It's not a huge deal anyway.
Alright. So comes around this side and speaks to Felix. Where are the others?
They went out back. I don't know what they're up to.
Okay, can I use my dash to head
Totally.
up that way? Cool. So I've
With
got
an additional 5 feet, don't forget.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
That door is open, by the way. I don't think Jara closed it. At least he didn't say he did.
I did not.
Guard 2 is going to roll death save. Be nat once he dies. Okay, nope, he's good.
That would be fun.
Guard 1 is stable. Okay. He will stand up.
Does stable mean conscious? I think it just means like not dying.
Let's see. If you're at
That
one
was my
hit
goal.
point, if you're at 1 hit point, then he's up. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Does it? I don't know what it does.
Oh, that's 3.5.
Stabilize would just be 0 hit points
Yep.
unconscious.
So he is not moving. Totally right. Okay. He's done. Jara.
Can I attempt to stand up?
At the end of your turn, you have to make a con save. Yeah, I mean you can stand up. Sure.
I'm gonna stand up and then I'm going to yell out that I saw. I'm gonna yell out and be like, they kidnapped someone and ran down the street.
I like to
then-
think Jara stands up and is screaming at the chimney.
Wall, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm blind. That's what I'm doing. I'm
Canon.
Yeah, it is. I'm screaming at the chimney because I can't see. And then yeah, that'll be my turn. So I'll attempt another con save. Oh, nat 20. There we go.
Okay, you are
Heyo.
no longer blinded and you are staring face to face
I'm
with the
staring
brick
at the chimney, and then I'm gonna try to like play it off cool, like I meant to talk this way, you know?
The echo, it would echo more.
Yeah, I was trying to like bounce it off the wall and have it revert back louder. That was the plan.
Okay, this is the last round of combat. So Felix, you are up. You're stabilizing. Medicine check for me.
Yep.
No nat 1, you're good.
Yeah, it is a
You're good.
23.
That's very good. And then dexterity to tie him up.
Oh my god, another nat 1. You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
no.
Okay, he's tied up.
Fuck.
All right. Anything
Felix
else?
can't tie for shit.
You're doing like standard shoe knots.
He's doing the slip knot where you just pull one end and it comes undone.
Yeah, the slip knot.
Oh no.
Alright, Felix is gonna go see what's up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Alfredo's gonna follow.
Okay, you see Jara just finishing yelling at a chimney. You see Iris scanning the ground behind, which is just a cluster of houses, like a neighborhood. If you'd like to make perception, although you made a lot of checks, so probably not.
Okay.
But that's what you see there. Okay. Therathari, to close us out here. What you doing?
Yep, we'll just be moving towards the commotion. Is that
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Let's just keep it to 7 for now, so no dash.
Do you want to make a perception check or anything?
Yeah, may as well see if we can spot the escapees here. That is a 13.
Let me. Okay, you see, and I think this map for a second. You see just leaving the area, ducking behind more houses, the one single black cloaked figure, just as they turn around the corner.
Okay. All right. That's helpful.
And that would be in like this direction.
Okay.
And that is where we will end tonight's session.
All right.
Oh,
So
these Shade Watch, I swear. These fuckers.
it's in the name,
They
all right?
scheming.
Shade, right?
They scheming.
For
It's in
Shady.
shade, you know? They live up to the
Yeah.
name. So I don't know if
Sorry,
you
has a plan.
I don't know if we want to do Monday. If we do, let me know. Whatever you guys, if you want to do a shorter Monday, I know Tom back-to-backs are a little tough. So if you want to do a shorter Monday, we'll talk about it in chat, but I won't keep you any longer. So
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. If there's a healthy amount of combat, like it's really just the RP and the note taking that drains me. But
Okay.
if there's going to be more combat the next one, then
well, I'll tell you, depending on what happens now, there could be more combat. But definitely,
Yeah,
if you are to go to the church area, you should expect some combat.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like it seems like that's going to be like sort of a little
Mini
adventure.
dungeon, kind of.
Mhm.
So,
Cool.
based on that, you can think about it, and I'll schedule the bot accordingly. But until then, have a great rest of your week.
All right. Sounds good, y'all.
Talk
Cool.
to y'all later.
Everyone.
See you guys.
See ya.